So what is Oracle Apex? Apex is a rapid application development tool. Notice what we're saying here. It is a database-centric web application development framework. A little more information on Oracle Apex. Apex allows you to develop desktop as well as mobile web apps, allows you to visualize and maintain database data, also allows you to leverage SQL skills and database capabilities. And don't worry if you don't know SQL, because it is a low-code product. Now, in planning your data migration to Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, what types of apps can I use Apex to create? Apps to replace spreadsheets, proof of concepts apps, quick win apps, self-service apps, mission-critical apps, apps for gaps in corporate systems, apps to replace outdated business processes, customer or partner-facing portals, and apps to modernize legacy systems. So Apex allows you, as I mentioned, to rapidly develop applications. Some of the features that we're showing you here, it helps non-IT professionals build or help develop apps. You can build apps in days or weeks, not months or years. Use powerful wizards to create fully featured apps. Rapidly iterate to production-ready applications, and allows you to easily modify to meet changing requirements. You don't have to go back and completely rewrite your application with this feature. It is also simple deployment. A single installation runs any number of apps. You can scale to hundreds of thousands of users, and leverages enterprise features of Oracle Autonomous. So the app development is a web browser. You don't need to include or install any client software. The application definitions are stored in the database as metadata. It is declarative. So you tell Application Express what you want to create, and Application Express builds it for you. Page generation is efficient with only one request and one response. And all of the data processing is done in the database. So it is a no-cost feature of the Oracle database. Also, because it is a feature of the Oracle database, it offers specialized Oracle support teams. Oracle Cloud Services, Apex is included, and it is easy to install, included by default with all editions of Oracle database. It is scalable, any number of apps, developers, and end users. You can download the latest release on OTN, and notice it supports multiple different Oracle database versions. Oracle Apex allows for rapid development, customization, and delivery, pre-built controls for security, authentication, database interaction validation, session management, and more. You can go from prototype to production in minutes. You can also create applications for any device. Here we're showing you an example of 3 different platforms: computer, tablet, and phone. And also it's really flexible as far as your data sources. Those can be local or remote, and also supports REST access. The architecture. So in order to access Application Express, all you need is your browser. The mid-tier architecture is Oracle REST Data Services. No application logic in this tier. It converts HTTP in order to database API calls. And then the database tier is the Oracle database. That can be a pluggable database, or it can be a dedicated installation of the Oracle database. Zero latency database data access, and it is dynamically driven by Apex metadata. And notice, if you do know SQL and PL SQL, that you can also implement those in Application Express. So here we're showing you an example of 3 different departments. We have a sales department, a support department, and an HR department. Each of these departments has their own workspace defined in Application Express. Now, some of those workspaces only have access to a single schema. Some of those workspaces have access to multiple schemas. And those schemas, of course, are built on an Oracle database with Apex. And again, that Oracle database can be an autonomous database, or it can be an on-prem installation. And here we're talking more about those deployment and development options. So you can install on a standalone laptop using Oracle Express Edition or a full database version. Simply upgrade Apex to the required version, and you can work completely disconnected in this case. You can also install this on-premise. This is typically run by the IT department. It generally includes both production operations service and a service provider. The departments are each responsible for their own application development. And you can also do this on cloud. Deploy internet applications. It is leveraged for fast application development, user acceptance and training, prototyping, and proof of concept. Consulting companies develop for deployment on customer premise. So here we're showing you the workflow in order to develop your first application. First, you develop the database, and then you develop the application. You develop the application in a component in Application Express called App Builder. And you can then test your application upon completion of developing the application. Once it passes the test, then you can export your application and import that into a production application. And that is where you would deploy your application. So let's take a look at logging in and the different product components of Application Express. So you do need to log into a workspace first of all. You enter the URL in your browser address bar, and notice that is on-prem installation. Now, if this is the first time you're launching Apex from cloud, you would need to launch that from the Tools menu. And then once it's launched and you have your workspace created and your users created, then you can bookmark that URL, and then you can go ahead and just use that URL in the future to log into Application Express and your workspace. Enter the workspace name, enter the username and password, and then click Sign In. So here we're showing you an example of the workspace name low code, the username low code, and the password. And notice that you do have the option to remember the workspace and username. And then you would click sign in. You can also request a workspace, and you can reset the password from this login screen. The major components, these are called modules. We have App Builder, and that's where you're going to go in and build your applications. We have SQL Workshop. And in SQL Workshop, you can go in and write SQL code. You can browse objects. You can create objects. There's the team development module where different developers can collaborate with components in Application Express. And then if you wanted to install some sample applications or some productivity applications that are already built for you, you can go to the module called Gallery. Now, developers use App Builder to create the pages that make up an Oracle Application Express application. You spend the majority of your time in App Builder defining, enhancing, and maintaining applications. Notice inside App Builder, we have a Create button, an Import button, a dashboard, and a button for Workspace Utilities. And under Workspace Utilities, there are several different utilities that you get access to. Now in SQL Workshop module, this is a browser-based maintenance of database objects and data, and it is designed to meet application developers' needs, especially in hosted environments. You notice there is an object browser, and that's where you can go in and take a look at existing objects within the schema. You can also create new objects there. You can browse the data. You can create lookups, all kinds of things you can do there. SQL commands, that is a component that allows you to go in and type SQL or PL/SQL commands. SQL scripts allow you to save, often use SQL, a utilities module, and RESTful services. Now the team development module. Now this has been changed from previous releases, and that's why we're saying team development has been reimagined as a new way to work together in Apex. You can easily keep track of tasks, features, bugs, and feedback for your entire team all in a single location. So what you can do in your application is you can include a feedback link, and you can allow users that are testing your application to provide feedback. And then you could track those as bugs or requested features, or could just be feedback, and that's all in a single location. It's designed to be simpler than before, but powerful and flexible enough to be an essential part of your development process. Now the Apex Gallery, as I mentioned, allows you to install sample applications or productivity applications. And notice also there is a section for plugins. Gallery apps are a suite of business productivity applications easily installed with only a few clicks. These solutions can be used as is. Sample applications are usually used in order for you to install and then learn how to do a particular component. For instance, you might install an application that includes a different number of charts, and you can go in and analyze how those charts were built and implement those into your own application. In this demonstration, I wanted to show you how to log into administration services in order to create your workspace administrator, and assign the password for that user. If you had navigated to this page from the console sign-in, you can go ahead and bookmark this page to make it easier to locate this page in the future. Okay, so let me go ahead and enter in my password for my admin user and click sign in. And let me just say no thanks to that. Okay, now we have the Create Workspace button that's going to allow us to create the workspace. Let's go ahead and click on that. And let's go ahead and define our database username. I'm going to put low code. And then the workspace, I'll also put low code. And for the password, let's click right here on the help text, and you'll notice that you can see the complexity rules for the password. I'm going to go ahead and enter in a password that meets these requirements. And let's go ahead and click on Create Workspace. Okay, once the workspace is created, you will be logged into Administration Services. Click on Manage Workspaces. And let me click Never on that. Next, click on Manage Developers and Users. And you can see that you have two workspace administrators. One is admin, and the other is the one that I just created called low code. Okay, let's go ahead and click on the admin username in the upper right-hand corner. And let's go ahead and click Sign Out. Now let's click on Return to Sign In page. And you notice now we have a field to enter for the workspace as well as the username and password. So the workspace name was low code, and the username that I had chosen is low code as well. And let me just enter in the password. And then we will click on Sign In. And again, if you would like, you could go ahead and bookmark this page for easier access in the future. And now we are presented with the Apex Workspace homepage.